So it's been about 2 months since I've been rocking the cane. So today I thought I'd share a few things that I've learned that I found interesting. So I'm going to head into town, into Bel Air, Maryland, because they're very accommodating for people that are visually impaired. And I'm going to show you a few things. So come with me. We'll follow. We'll go into town, and I'll show you a few things. Look at this cane here. Here we are, downtown Bel Air, Maryland. I'm going to show you a few of the things that I've learned over the past few weeks. So follow me, we'll go up to Main Street. So I'm here in downtown Bel Air, Maryland on Main Street, and it really is your classic American Main Street. You can see the Christmas decorations. They have parades here all the time and festivals. It's really a nice little town. There's restaurants and bars. You can see the courthouse right over there. There's a supermarket, but my favorite is Newberry Cafe. It's a delicious bakery. My family says I might eat there a little bit too much, but it is delicious. Now, Bel Air is like a lot of other towns its size throughout America. It comes with a share of celebrities. For instance, NBA point guard for the New York Knicks, Emmanuel Quickly, went to school just a couple blocks down the street at John Carroll High School. And a side note, his mom was my kid's principal. Another graduate from John Carroll High School is Roman Hemby he plays a running back for the University of Maryland. Go Terps. Another local resident is Kimmy Meisner. She grew up in Bel Air, Maryland. And then another local celebrity is ESPN analyst Mel Kiper Jr. Not really Bel Air, the next town up, but we'll claim him here. Bel Air was also home to one of the most famous acting families of the 19th century. Junius Booth came from England. He was already an established actor there, and he did the most acting thing you could do. He left his country and his wife behind and came over to America with his mistress. And they settled right here in Bel Air, Maryland, where they had 10 kids together. Junius traveled all over the U.S. and became quite known in Boston and New York and up and down the East Coast for his acting abilities. And even some of his kids followed him into the profession. That included Junius Jr. Booth, Edwin Booth, and John Wilkes Booth, all with different varying degrees of success. Probably Edwin was the most successful, even starting a playhouse in New York City. John Wilkes Booth had quite a career too. I think his biggest part was in a play in Washington, D.C. at Ford's Theater, where he played the lead role in a political murder mystery. I think that's true. I'll have to fact check that, and if it's wrong, I'll edit it out of there. And then the reason I came here is to show you what I've learned over the last few weeks about using the cane and getting around town. So I'd like to give a big shout out to my instructor, Jocelyn, who's really helped me out. She's come in, she's helped me to show me how to get around my house, my community, and then also the downtown Bel Air area. So one of the first things I learned about the cane is that there's a certain way to hold it, which I never knew. When I first got it, I was just holding like this. But if you look, there's a flat part of the cane that you actually hold and put your finger down there. It gives you a little bit more control, and it gives you the illusion that your finger's being extended, and you get a better feel for what's going on in your area. The next thing I learned is a lot of communities, you might have seen this many times and stepped on it and said, oh, that's to let people know that the road is coming up. Well, if you did it, if you thought it was for your feet, you're only one step away from roadkill. So it's actually for your cane, where you can feel the cane and you're a few steps away and you know to stop before that. Third thing I learned, when I go to press this button, we've all seen it, wait. Tells me to wait or it has some sort of warning. But what you didn't know, that when it's time to cross the street, this actually vibrates. So it's for the visually impaired and the hearing impaired as well. It's a great invention. I never knew that. I pressed that so many times and just learned that this week. The next thing that I liked about Bel Air is they really carved out the crosswalks here. So I know where to crosswalk. The people see me. and it's a great feel. It makes it real simple to get around town. And the last thing that we talked about a lot was just some common sense things. Like when you're walking, listen for the sound of the road, see what direction the vehicles are going, which way they're turning, so that we can get a better feel for when to cross the road. It's a lot like sports when you're playing basketball. If you practice your drills over and over again, so you get those common sense things down, so it makes it easier when you're playing the game. The difference is when you're playing basketball, if you mess up, you get a turnover. But if I'm using the cane and I mess up, I don't get a turnover. I get run over. I just made that up.
Okay.
So I make this look pretty easy, but let me tell you, it's a lot of practice. I remember when I first started, I tried to cross the road, I dropped the cane, I started running and panic and running in and out of traffic. It was crazy. I actually have a clip of it, and that's what I'm going to leave you with, is me trying to cross the road the very first time. Anyway, stay safe out there and beware of the cane. Thanks.